Now, of course, we're still talking Mardi Gras because it's not over yet. Fat Tuesday is not here yet. In fact, the Mystic Stripers are going to be rolling this Thursday, and that's a parade you don't want to miss. So today we have Chef April here, and she's going to be making the Mystic Stripers version of shrimp alfredo. Absolutely. What are we going to need for this?
Oh, you're going to need a blonde roux and heavy cream and lots of cheese and Gulf shrimp. Preferably fresh, your preference of pasta. This is a dish you can get fun with. You can make it your own.
Very nice, and I like that I mentioned earlier you have the heart-shaped pasta. That's a good one to use here in February, or really anytime.
I must admit that it had nothing to do with heart health. That had
You're not supposed to admit that.
It had to do with the fact that I just love Mardi Gras so much.
Okay.
I was like, heart-shaped pasta, bring it on.
All right, so we have that. And are there certain flavors in this pasta? I know sometimes you can find the pasta with the flavors.
You can, and that's generally where the color comes from if you have colored pasta. By the way, you can't find purple anywhere.
No, you probably have to make your own, and it would probably get pretty messy.
It does get messy, but it is possible.
Yes, for sure. Now, we're going to need the pasta, you're going to need some shrimp. Now, what are our spices over here?
I've gone really simplistic today. I've done a little bit of white pepper, a little bit of garlic, and a little bit of kosher salt.
Okay, very easy. So what's the first step?
First step is you're going to make a blonde roux, which is 50% flour, 50% oil. You can use any kind of fat that you prefer. On this particular one, I used roasted garlic oil in order to get more flavor into the sauce itself. You're going to have a double boiler, which is what I have here. Underneath here is filled with water and is boiling in order to not score your sauce. That can stay there for hours if you need it to maintain your temperature, right?
Okay.
And then you get it to a nice hot temperature. You add your roux in order to thicken. You can use cornstarch if you prefer. Some people do. Season, cheese, and away you go.
Very easy. So you kind of already put the roux together here, right?
Yep, got it all together.
Okay, so tell us the steps to making that roux in particular.
Okay, you're going to take a hot skillet, medium heat, and your choice of fat. Like I said, I used the roasted garlic oil as well as flour. A roux consists of 50% flour, 50% fat.
Okay.
And for this particular one, we're going to go blonde because you don't want the browned flavor. Okay. As opposed to doing a gumbo.
Okay, explain what that means for somebody who may not cook a whole lot, the blonde.
It looks just like a blonde. You can't mess it up.
Looks like a blonde. So there's going to be a small blonde, like a Barbie in there?
A small blonde Barbie. There you go. That's a good way of describing it.
So it's just a very light color as opposed to like a gumbo roux that's going to be a little darker.
That's going to be your brown roux, and it gets a richer flavor into it. You're not really adding flavor with your roux to thicken. You're adding more of a consistency.
Okay. All right, so you're going to get that all in the skillet, mix it all up, and then we're going to put it in the pot?
Well, no, we're going to take your prepared pasta and your sauce and toss it together until you like it. I kind of like it dry. I don't like it really soupy because I like the flavors to mend. Yeah. But and then I'm going to top it with some shrimp and garnish and serve it.
Okay. All right. Well, when we come back, we'll find out about the shrimp and how you got that going and what spices you used for that. Now, you'll find the recipe on our website under the Studio 10 tab on fox10tv.com. We'll be back in the kitchen in just a few minutes.
Back in our great kitchen set, the Thermador cooktop is busy thanks to Chef April with the Mystic Stripers. Now, to me, it just looked like shrimp alfredo, a fantastic shrimp alfredo at that, but the actual name of this is sexy shrimp alfredo. You got to bring that sexy into it. Is that why we have the heart-shaped pasta?
Well, heart-shaped, we have discovered that this heart has spanned many areas this morning. Heart healthy.
Yep.
I love Mardi Gras.
Valentine's Day, all that
Absolutely.
good stuff. Bringing sexy back in the Studio 10 kitchen. Now, you mentioned heart healthy. What can you do to make this dish heart healthy?
You can reduce the calories in this dish by using a cornstarch to thicken as opposed to a roux. That cuts your butter or your oil as well as your flour out, which are going to be your carbs. You can use milk. Skim milk, 1%, 2%, whatever you'd like to use. The lower the fat content, of course, the better for your heart. So.
Definitely. All good tips. I'm glad this one's going to be the way it is today. I'll do a little extra workout. That's fine. I'll work it off, but I'm going to indulge myself in this. We've got the shrimp going here. They're just about done. Any tips on cooking shrimp?
Don't overcook them.
Don't overcook them. How do you not do that? Shrimp really go pretty fast from what people tell me. Yeah.
2.5, 3, 4 minutes tops, and they become rubbery if you go too far with them.
Sure.
They lose their taste and texture. And
But these look perfect. So we've got all this going. We're going to be ready to put it together in our final segment. Before we do that, though, we want to talk about the big parade on Thursday night. The Mystic Stripers. Tell the folks all about it.
Oh, wow. It's a tradition in my family. This will be my father's some odd 40-some-odd years to ride.
Wow.
Brother, uncles, grandpa, the whole 9 yards. It's a family tradition. It's like, this is our Thanksgiving. This is how we come together. And I know a lot of families in Mobile are just that way.
Totally. It is part of our culture. Mobile, the home of Mardi Gras, Thursday night, the parade. And if there is some rain, you guys will still roll at some point.
Yes, we will. We'll tag along, which we hope that doesn't happen, but we will tag along with another parade. The Mystic Stripers will take to the street, be it this Thursday night or be it another night.
Yeah.
We will see you there.
Definitely. All right. Well, we're hoping for Thursday night, but we're making plans just in case. Thursday at 6:30, downtown Mobile, the Mystic Stripers, sexy shrimp Alfredo. We're going to finish this up in just a little while. And guys, as I toss to you to talk about the weather, I can give you something to talk about. It is National Weather Person's Day. Happy National Weather Person's Day, Michael White. Back with Chef April and the Mystic Stripers in our great kitchen set. Our Thermador appliances doing work this morning, cooking up all this goodness. Where are we at with this dish, Chef April?
We are at the point of no return. It's time to put it together, put it in a bowl, and eat it.
And eat it. Let's do that. Can we do a little bit of putting some of this together so we can see how it turns out? Looking so fantastic. And guess what? I mentioned earlier in the show that I was going to get my Tupperware. I found this too. So this is, I'm going to put some of that in there for my lunch. We got a lot to talk about with the Mystic Stripers because we have the parade this Thursday night at 6:30. Now, 80% chance of rain. If the parade is canceled due to rain, it will be the second time in 74 years that has happened. But there's good news. You guys will just follow up another parade on Friday night.
On Friday night, that's correct.
And which parade is that?
The Crew of Columbus.
The Crew of Columbus. So, just so you know, in the event of rain, the Mystic Stripers will follow the Crew of Columbus Friday night. If not, they'll continue to roll Thursday night at 6:30. So there are all your options for the parade. And also, the Mystic Stripers aren't just about the Mardi Gras season and just rolling one time a year. That's not what it's all about. You guys are doing things year-round.
Absolutely. Charitable organization, St. Jude's is one of the charitable organizations that we support the largest. We do that through fundraisers, and we have a deep sea fishing rodeo coming up the day before Father's Day. Tickets will be available all over town. We'll be back on the show to introduce you to some fish dish or something of that nature.
Sure. Looking forward to that in June. That'll be fantastic. But like we said, all that money goes toward St. Jude, so that is a fantastic organization and a great...
Not to mention a lot of fun for fathers, sons, women. Our women anglers, believe it or not, hold more records than our men.
I believe it. I believe it.
It's the only place that women get to shine in the Stripers organization.
That's sure. Hey, you know what? One of these shrimp got loose, so this is the one I'm going to try. Let me see this.
Now, those are fresh. Those are caught here in Alabama. So I'm a large supporter of do it local. Do it local, do it fresh.
Local Gulf Coast seafood, the best, and I can taste the freshness. This is so good. Can't wait to have the rest for my lunch. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
We'll be back with more Studio 10.